and talk about another recent listing which is in the focus again. The stock is being liked by the market on a variety of factors. Brokerages are turning positive, and there is a lot of fundamental news flow as well. I'm talking about Godrej Agrovet, and Balram Yadav, the MD of the company, is here. They're talking to us this afternoon. Mr. Yadav, thank you very much for sparing time to chat with us. The recent development is that the government has raised import tax on crude palm oil to about 44% from 30 odd, and increased tax on refined palm oil to 54 from 40. How do you analyze this, and with India being biggest importer of edible oils, how would it impact consumers, other stakeholders, companies like yours?
Good afternoon. Actually, this import duty was long overdue. If you see, 5 years ago, we used to import half our edible oil consumed in the country. Now, next year, we believe that almost 2/3 of that will be imported. So it was high time we provided some kind of support to the local oil producers, because our import dependence is increasing and there is no incentive to produce oil in India, because the edible oil from Indonesia, Malaysia will always be cheaper and will be made cheaper by the producers there. For example, last import duty, which was raised from 15 to 30%, was totally paid by the Indonesians and Malaysians by reducing the price, and we expect this to happen this time also, albeit with a time lag, because their flush season has not started. It will definitely raise prices of other oils for some time, till the oil palm price is adjusted by the exporters. We believe that the crop which is coming in Rabi, mustard, rapeseed, etc., will be benefited. The prices of this crop were very low. Now there will be some increase in prices which will help the farmer, and there will be incentive to go for oil seeds in our country, because the prices will be remunerative.
Sure. So that's a broad-based observation. Let's talk a little specifics. How does it impact companies such as yours, and by when do you see with some lag impact coming in?
So we will be benefited definitely, because we have a oil palm business. We produce almost 100,000 tons of CPO and CPKO, that is crude palm oil and crude palm kernel oil. The prices have risen. It is off season, but the season is just a few weeks away. From April onwards, the arrivals will start, and the high prices will benefit companies like ours and the farmers also, because the payment is based on a formula which is based on oil price. And I think we are happy, because our farmers will also be benefited along with the company, because 80% of this increase will be passed on to the farmers as per the formula.
Sure. Sure, that's a fair point, retaining a slice of it and passing on the bulk of it, but April, May is actually when you're saying the benefit will actually start coming in. So let's talk about some of your numbers and trajectory for the growth. Analysts are penciling in about 18-20% growth for your company going forward. Do you think that's a fair estimate, or you can outperform that estimate?
So I only want to say is that we are operating in areas where growth opportunity is huge, be it agrochemical, oil palm plantation. I've already spoken about animal feeds, and animal protein sector has a lot of opportunity, because we are a protein deficient company. We believe that if you're talking about top line is definitely determined by the commodity prices also. But I can definitely say that as far as bottom line is concerned, a very healthy growth can be easily achieved in next few years.
So actually I was talking about 20% profit growth on a compounded basis for next 2 to 3 years, and 11-12 top line growth 2 to 3 years compounded. Do you think that you are confident of achieving that kind of number?
So yeah, we are extremely confident of very, very healthy bottom line growth. On top line growth, I need to say that it is also dependent on commodity prices. I'll give you an example that first 9 months we had a 3-4% growth in the animal feed tonnages, but we had a -6% growth in the animal feed value because the commodity prices were low. So these kind of things you will have to probably discount when you calculate our top line growth. But what is more important are the volume growth will be there. The kind of numbers you are talking about, I am not very, I have no doubts that we will be able to achieve very healthy volume growth in each of our businesses, which will also be reflected in the bottom line.
Right. Sir, just one last question on your strategy. Curious to understand, I appreciate your confidence about these numbers and we wish you outperform them. But what are the strategy you are actually adopting? If you could share, some in some brief way. You have a diversified mix on different segments. What are your steps which you are taking to improve profitability and to drive volume on the top line?
So I will tell you where my confidence comes from. I think the first and the foremost is the confidence is coming from the fact that rural distress is coming down and the performance of rural India is improving. If you take the last quarter GDP numbers, the farm sector growth is more than 4% as compared to 2.7% of last quarter, the last financial year. So this is one of the reasons for the confidence. Second is that there are several product launches, particularly in Aztec Life Sciences and our crop protection business. There is duty and I am very sure that the oil prices will be very high. In animal feed we are quarter on quarter, our growth in volumes is substantially increasing. I cannot disclose the first 2 months, but it is a very healthy volume growth. So this confidence is coming from cumulative calculation of all these factors. I also want to tell you that the only show spoiler is the monsoon, and I'm not only talking about average monsoon. If there's a total failure of monsoon, that will be show spoiler. In one way, the portfolio we have built hedges each other. We have seen that certain businesses of ours, particularly the animal protein businesses, do very well in water deficit situations. So I don't see Godrej Agrovet suffering too much in case there are some disturbances in the environment, like a little lower monsoon or a gap in the monsoon, etc. So we are fairly confident of good performance in the coming year.
Right. All right, sir. We'll let you go on that one. Thank you so much for your time and good luck achieving those aims going ahead. That was Mr. Balram Yadav of Godrej Agrovet.